Sunshine Sterling. Willie Raincloud. It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. This is the Sports Source.
All right, welcome back in. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. Bars, bar stools, pub tables, poker tables, chairs for your poker table, home theater seating. Games and Things have been selling these items for 40 years, folks, 40 years. And we'll be telling you about a big 40th anniversary sale that they've got coming up real soon. But for now, you can go by and visit them out there, Lovell Road exit in Knoxville, West Knoxville, or you can visit them online, ourgameroom.com. Games and Things, just a terrific company. If you go by their, I say this every week because it's true, if you go by their showroom, you're going to spend an hour because you won't want to leave. It's like the world's greatest man cave. Games and Things. Okay, instead of 3 up, 3 down, we're just going to do 2 up, 2 down. That's the day. Two up, 2 down. So let me start with the ups. Sterling, who was your number one up yesterday?
First, I've got to go with a guy who made a lot of tackles on defense, even punched the ball out. Dr. Flowers, he showed up yesterday, baby. He did his thing, represented the defense in a real big way. 10 tackles. Punched the ball out, caused the fumble, and he almost got the fumble. So, the guy played well yesterday, so I'm going Mr. Flowers is definitely an up.
All right, Trayvon Flowers had a tackle for loss thrown in there, too. Yeah, good deal. Who's number one down, Will Overstreet?
Unfortunately, Flowers got a lot of tackles because that whole front group is going to be called on the down. But I'm going to put a guy up there that that really kind of showed yesterday in the sense of how far away you are. Your best player right now this year, everybody's stated, is Henry To'oTo'o. He had a terrible game, missed several tackles. They blocked him one-on-one, and they blocked him out of the way. In the passing game, he was beat several times. It was just a horrible, bad day. And the reason I put him there, I could have chosen anybody in that front seven and watched tape and said why they had a bad day, because it was a horrific bad day for that front seven. So he just gets the call because I think that sets the tone of how bad the game was.
I thought it was interesting yesterday. Gary Danielson made a bizarre comment. He said, speaking of To'oTo'o, he said, this Alabama offense spreads you out so much, it's tough for a middle linebacker to make many plays against them.
Yeah,
I didn't see the logic in that.
Well, especially not when they're running up the middle between the tackles. That usually would cut down on that part of that.
We debated this a couple of weeks ago. He's a terrific player. Sterling is an offensive player. You said you fear speed. Absolutely. I still think he's lost a little too much weight. Looks to me like he's a little undersized at this point. He would have gained in speed. I wonder if he didn't give up in a little bit of power, because there's some guys bouncing off of him this year.
Yeah, I think it's been said. It's one of those things. He looks more like a safety body now than he does a middle linebacker's body.
Yeah. Okay, Sterling, who's your number 2 up?
The man catching that rock and doing big things in Big Orange Country, baby. Mr. Hyatt, baby. He showed up yesterday. They're catching the ball and actually playing big in a big game on a big stage. And he's young. I like it. With the success he's had yesterday, I look forward to seeing some big things out of that guy in the future.
2 catches, 86 yards.
Even the rain cloud part had said that was a bright spot in the game.
There you go. 2 catches, 86 yards. He might have even had 2 touchdowns if they had reviewed the first one. That was bizarre. All right, so Hyatt and Flowers are your up. Who's the number 2 down to go with To'oTo'o?
I'm picking out little things here, but like I said, I could have picked anybody on the defensive front seven, but I decided to go with Eric Gray just because, listen, you give the other team points, a fumble like that, at any point in time, it negates all good that you're doing in a game. You have to be, as a running back, better than that, and you can't turn the ball over that easily. You got to watch that. That's going to get you beat in games that you should win if you play like that and you don't take care of the football.
Yeah, it didn't take much to get that ball out yesterday. That was not a very good-looking fumble. Not that there are good-looking fumbles, but sometimes you can say, well, the guy got killed, somebody punched it, he just reached in and took it away from him. David,
it's good when Tennessee gets it.
Let me finish up with you.
Yeah.
Offensive line, defensive line, just quick takes on how they played yesterday.
Yeah, Jarek Arantano had a pretty good day, and the biggest reason was because he was throwing from a lot of clean pockets. You didn't have that, huge catastrophe plays because he's not got guys breathing down his neck every time he plays. The defensive line, though, goodness, they're going to see this game a lot because it's going to be on Najee Harris's Heisman reel by the end of the season.
Or Mac Jones.
One of the two. That is an issue, and I think especially for a group that brought back literally every single person that contributed last year. Emmett Gooden's their only loss, and he didn't play last year. There's no excuse for it, and they have been really bad through 5 games.
We asked before the season, will this team find a replacement for Jawan Jennings? Will this team find a replacement for Darrell Taylor? I think the answer on both of those is clearly no.
Or Batuli.
Obertulin. All right. Very good. When we come back, Vols are halfway through the season. They got an open date. We'll look at who's ahead. The next 5 games, and I've also gone through, let's take a look at those teams' quarterbacks compared to Garantano. It's an interesting way of looking at it when you take a look at it. And I'm just going to say look 4 more times. And then we'll look at some other things as the show goes along. Come on back and look at us.